while we are waiting for the light to turn green, we can revisit the issue of distribution of the loads via the fifth wheel adjustment and the tandem adjustment. If you look carefully at the fifth wheel, you discover that the beginning of the fifth wheel from the rear very close to the center. The center is right of the tandem is right in the middle at that support. And the slots start from the middle to the front. The entire length of the slot is no more than 1.5 feet, 2 feet. That's all it is. Almost the distance between the wheels. So why can't you get these slots to give you a predictable change on the steer? It is simple. I have two issues here. First issue is that the engine is right in the front. So the engine is a load. The engine is right here, this area. So the engine is loading the steer with about 8,000 pounds. That's the engine alone. So when you add another load, which is a trailer, the trailer will load the tractor through the kingpin. The kingpin in this, exactly in this spot. So the fifth wheel only adjusts the kingpin relation to the frame, only 1.5 foot. So you have another issue. You have one support here and one support here and one support in the front. So you don't have a simple swing. A swing is like the kids have a swing with a center in the middle and two kids, one on each side. Here you have an engine in the front and a trailer in the back on the kingpin, but you have two supports here, not just one. So your adjustment of load by the fifth wheel, it is no more 1,000 pounds. You can increase 1,000 pounds on the under 1,000 on the steer or decrease. Why? Because your load, you're only adjusting one load, not in the middle between the two supports. You're adjusting that load in the middle of 2 out of 3. That is why the fifth wheel cannot be predictable when it comes to adjusting the load, and only use it after you get your tandem 34,000 or under. If you get the drive over 34,000, you cannot reduce it more than 600 or 900 pounds. You can take that 600 or 900, put them on the steer. That's all you can do with the fifth wheel. We finish here. Then you go back to the tandem. You try to figure out in your head why the tandem adjustment is predictable. Every 4 slots on the tandem will give you 1,000 pounds. As you can see here, I put the tandem all the way in the back. So why the tandem is predictable? Because the tandem, you have 2 supports only. The center here support of the tandem similar to the center support of the drive. You can say we have 4 supports, 2 here and 2 in the front. Fine, but you have an even support. But here you are adjusting only a single load. That load is the center of the trailer or the center of the load. Depend on the customer. If the customer put all the load very close to the nose, you are going to have the center close to the nose, the center of mass. So in this case, you have very predictable outcome by moving the tandem. You move the tandem to the front, you putting more weight from the trailer, and you're reducing the weight on the drive. If you take the tandem to the back, you put more weight on the drive and you put less weight on the tandem. And that weight depends on how many slots you adjust. Is it very linear and predictable? No, it is not very linear. but it's almost, you are not going to notice it. When I say 4 slots will be 1,000 pounds, does not mean exactly 1,000. It might be a fraction, 900, 800 something, but at least a good, reliable estimate. A lot of people tell you when you are empty, your trailer is elevated up because of the shock absorbers are not compressed. How many shock absorbers you have? How many kinds? You have 3 kinds. You have solid or metal shock absorber, that is the spring under the leaf, the stainless steel leaf under, that is one kind of shock absorber. You have pneumatic shock absorber, that is the airbag, and you have a hydraulic shock absorber, that is the oil piston right here. So you have 3 kinds of shock absorbers. When you are not loaded, all these shock absorbers, the 3 of them, are decompressed, which means they elevate the trailer up. So you have enough clearance here from the tire to the trailer. That means the top of your trailer is going to be elevated up. So you can be exactly 13 feet high. You're supposed to be 13 feet 6 inches. Almost here, if you measure it, to be about 15 feet. But the problem is that when you are not loaded, when you are empty, you are higher than when you are loaded. So when you are loaded, this distance will be decreased, which means you can go under a bridge loaded, and the bridge say 13 feet clearance, and you can go under that bridge when you are loaded, no problem. After you unloaded your truck, you come back under the same bridge and you hit the bridge and get in an accident. Does it happen? Of course it happens, because your clearance changes with the load. And one of the problems with the bridge is not only the clearance, is how long is your truck. If you look at here, from the truck, from one support as a tandem, one support as a drive, if you have a curvature under the bridge and you did not notice that your truck is total, only a fraction of an inch will cause you to swipe the top of your trailer and you have an embarrassing accident.